faith, family and freedom in Cuba, Belgium, Brazil, Congo, UK and all over the USA to crowds from 14 to 40,000. International leadership speaker, trainer and coach. Author of Learn to Raw Leadership, Attitude Hack, Live a More Excellent Life, 5 Battle Strategies of a Victorious Warrior. 2021 President's Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Founding partner of the John Maxwell team. Toastmaster International Speech Competition semi-finalist. Founder of Tell It Like It Is TV, ThatGuyRocks.com and ThatGuySpeaks.com. Creator of Story Power TV, Transforming Grace TV, and Leading Leaders Podcast. Producer of 4 TV programs and podcasts for Liftable TV and World Trumpet Television as well as multiple social media channels. Please help me welcome Loren Norris.
If you've ever been around horses or other creatures, you know that sneaking up on them can cause you a problem. But if you've been around horses any period of time, you know that they'll put blinders on the horses so that, ironically, it's easier to sneak up on them. You can walk up beside them if they have blinders on and they don't know you're there. But if you touch them from the backside, they're probably going to kick you. If you touch them and they can't see you, it's going to be a problem. But I want to know how many people, especially leaders, have blinders on. And I don't necessarily mean that they're intentionally wearing blinders. They just have some blind spots, a blocked vision. And those are not exactly the same. That's what I want to talk about today on Leading Leaders.
Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.
I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. One of my projects for the day today, besides setting up a big giant AV system for events this weekend with video screens and all that stuff, the other project is I have to finish trimming a shrub. And this is not just any old shrub. When we moved into this house 3+ years ago, that shrub was about 6 foot tall, but had some red sprouties sticking up the top of it, a really cool color, but they were like sprouties that were over the top of the trimmed edge of the hedge, which was about 6 foot, and they were probably 8 or 10 feet tall. And so I had to climb up on a ladder with a hedge trimmer and kind of crop it off to a normal size. But now the entire shrub has reached that almost 9 foot level. It's still fairly shaped, but you can't see past it, which is not a problem except where it's located. See, this shrub has provided shade. It has provided home for birds. And on a regular morning, you can be out there and hear what sounds like 100 birds building a nest inside there and chirping at each other and like they're having some kind of family feud inside the shrub. The neighborhood kids have decided it's a great place for a fort. And so if you dig up under that shrub, you find not only piles of leaves and sticks, but snacks, trash from every kind of candy bar and soft drink you can possibly imagine shoved up underneath that shrub in my yard. And again, all of those things can be dealt with. But the one thing that can't be dealt with is the fact that every morning my wife gets in her little mid-size SUV and she drives down the driveway to the sidewalk to make a left turn into traffic. And from the time that she gets in her car until more than half of her car is in the road, that shrub blocks everything coming from the left. Every car, every garbage truck, every mail truck, every kid on a bicycle, every woman walking her stroller, they're all appearing out of nowhere coming past that enormous shrub. And by the time you can see them, they're in danger of her hitting them right in front of our own house. Well, that's not a good thing. In fact, that's a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing for anybody who would cross that path unaware of a moving vehicle. Because obviously, if she can't see them, they can't see her. They don't know that danger is there. And if they've got headphones in, and like many of the young people do, they fly down this sidewalk on their electric scooters or electric motorcycles or their bicycles at full speed. I mean, if they hit me, it would probably knock me over. That's how fast they're moving. But if they were to hit that car, it would cause not only damage to the car, but serious damage to them. And if it was the other way around and the car hit them, then it would be a serious problem. And all of it can be avoided with one action. So today I'm going to cut down the shrub. I borrowed someone's electric chainsaw, and I'm going to cut the shrub back to, at minimum, waist height. I might go all the way down to the stump and let it start all over again. And I can't just pull it out of the ground because it happens to be located right next to the green box that connects the neighborhood through electrical connections, whether it's telephone or cable, I'm not sure, but can't just yank it out of the ground because those roots are probably very well related to those electrical connections by now. But my point, though, is not just that I get to take out the shrub and therefore save the people who are coming down the sidewalk or save my wife from being hit by a car that she can't see coming because of the shrub, but really to point out the fact that there are things in our life as leaders that are blocking our view, obstructing our vision, obstacles. These obstacles are different than blinders because blinders are designed to block out distractions and allow you to see and focus where you're supposed to be focused. But there are points in your life as leaders, points in our life as just humans getting by, that we have to have this thing called peripheral vision, the ability to see beyond our point of focus and kind of widen our view and see what else is going on. You know, in the world the world right now, we have a war going on that's drawing a lot of attention. But simultaneously, we have a war going on. It's on the other side of the planet. I mean, yeah, we're sending billions of dollars over there that maybe could be used for Americans who are struggling, but it's on the other side of the world. It's not our issue per se. There's no guns pointed yet. No guns pointed at us yet. But is it something that we should be focused on if we're running a business and leading an organization? Unless you're in an organization that's actually directly contributing to that, whether it's arms or training or whatever else, then probably not. But there's also the migration thing going on with, was it 243,000 new people last month that came into America? And some states want to make those voting rights people. Just, if they came across, then give them voting rights. Citizenship is confusion. But then simultaneously we have, 39 food plants that have been destroyed by fire in the last 2 years, 21 of those in the year of 2022. There were 6 in 2021. There was 1 in 2019, none reported in 2020, but 21 have been burned to the ground. Food manufacturing plants and warehouse distribution plants burned to the ground since January. But don't pay any attention to that. It's just a distraction, right? Can't find baby formula. Well, except to the border. But I'm not trying to talk about politics particularly. What I am saying is there are a whole lot of things that vie for your attention that if you put the blinders on and focus only on what's right in front of you, I don't know, but Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the local gas prices, the local taxes, what's going on in your local politics, what's going on in national politics, what's going on in global politics. If you ignore all of that and you focus on one thing, what would that one thing be? That's operating with blinders on so that you can focus more on the one thing. But there's also those big obstructions, obstacles that maybe they're relationships. Maybe they're preconceived biases. You can't really see the peripheral because there's that one thing that it's an opinion. It's an idea. It's a relationship or a relationship you've tried to avoid. Maybe it's a tax audit. Maybe it's a previous employee or a previous employer. Maybe it's somebody that you used to work with and they still are living rent-free in your head. They're taking up time. They're an obstacle. But see, they're not just a physical obstacle. They're an emotional obstacle. They're a vision obstacle. They prevent you from seeing what's going on around you in the peripheral. Not just the global politics aspect of it, not just the global finance aspect of it, not just all those ways that our lives are being changed, altered, manipulated on a daily basis by everything else going on in the world, but they keep you from seeing your opportunities and potential right where you're at. See, these obstacles, sometimes they're self-imposed. Sometimes they're a shrub, not tended to. A shrub that I look at it often and I think, well, I like the shade it provides. I like the birds. I like the natural aspect. But I like the fact that it kind of provides a wall between us and the rest of the neighborhood. We kind of feel like we have our own little private space between that and the big shade tree in the front yard. And it's kind of nice. The fact that it will be gone is kind of disturbing. I like my shrub. I don't like the lack of safety, the place to hide if somebody were to decide to, I don't know, carjack my wife in the driveway. The place that the kids leave their garbage and then it blows all over the rest of the yard. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that somebody's baby could be running by there while they're out on a walk with their puppy and become endangered because of my shrub. I don't like that. So the question I'm asking you as a leader is, what kind of shrubs do you have in your life? What kind of obstacles block your view, block your vision, hinder you from seeing where you should be going and doing the things you should be doing, moving forward safely? What kind of obstacles prevent you from making decisions with good intel? What kind of relationships, past mistakes, opportunities are hiding behind this big giant shrub in your life? What is it that you haven't let go of, cut down, pulled up by the roots and said, I'm done with this? What is it that you're holding on to that's really stopping you from moving forward? Or maybe you do move forward, it's just kind of a creep. It's really slow. It's very cautious because you don't know what's coming next because you can't see. You don't have a clear field of view. Every position we hold as leaders, every life that we influence, we've got to have the clearest view of anybody. We've got to be able to see farther. We've got to be able to be willing to go farther. We've got to be willing to step up to our shrub and say, I know it's there. It needs to come down. And for all the reasons that I like it to be there, the reasons that it needs to come down are greater. There are going to be obstacles in your life at every stage. Some of them work for you. Some of them you work for. Maybe they're clients. But if you're not willing to pull them out by the roots, deal with the issue, you'll never see what's on the other side of them. And that could be greater opportunity. It could be better relationships. It could be more revenue. It could be the expansion of everything you've been working on. You know that there's something hindering you, you're just not sure what it is. If you could just put your finger on the blind spot. Well, we're not just talking about a blind spot, a thing that you're unaware of. We're talking about an obstacle that you know is there and you haven't dealt with it. I'm challenging you today. With everything that's going on in the world, it's easy to put blinders on and to intentionally, purposefully stay focused on only what you feel like you can change, only what you can impact, only what impacts you on a daily basis. That's really easy. And for some people, they would say that focus, that's what's going to make the difference in your life. To a degree, they're right. But the question is, could you make a bigger difference in everyone else's life? Could you grow what your influence is here for? If you remove the obstacles, not the blind spots, not the blinders you've intentionally put on, but the obstacles that you're ignoring and refusing to deal with. How much better could you do what you're here to do if you remove those obstacles? Challenge you to take the time today and ask yourself that question. Grab your journal, start writing down some things that you feel like could be obstacles you've been ignoring, things you know you needed to pull out by the roots, and you haven't done it yet. Today's the day. Today's a really good day. Yesterday would have been better, but today's a really good day. Tomorrow might be too late. Deal with the obstacles that are blocking your vision now. Improve your visibility, especially the peripheral, to see what's going on around you. Focus is a great thing. A clear vision, I think, is even more important. And getting rid of the obstacles, well, nobody can do that but you. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.